On.
Okay. We're back in session. 3:35. Next thing is selection of community members for interview committee for the general manager recruitment. Richard.
Hey. Yeah, so for part of our process we're working on, we talked about having a second interview panel that is parallel to the panel of commissioners. I just want to ask for direction or suggestions as to who would be willing and want to volunteer on such. It would be a time commitment to spend with us, probably a whole day. And it's always good to get a broad range of people from the community to sit in. And they would not be voting on the candidate selection, but would offer input to the commission at the end. And so I'm asking for...
So I had mentioned to you the city. Peggy Hawker had a whole list of community members. Were you able to obtain those from her?
Yeah, so I did reach out to Peggy Hawker, and she listed quite a few suggestions.
Okay.
Beatrice Botello from the Latino County Health Department. Dietmar Goebel, City Council.
He's the liaison.
Someone from Lincoln County, Wayne Belmont, Fishermen's Wives Group, Jennifer Stevenson. Commercial fishing representative, I would ask for, Peggy doesn't give a specific, for commercial fishing and recreation fishing, Peggy doesn't give a specific name. Coast Guard representative, Thomas Malloy. And
he's the chief.
Yeah, Port of Toledo, Bud Shoemake, the port manager, Chamber of Commerce, is a new director there. So these were suggestions from Peggy Hawker.
So we can obviously add to those.
Yeah, so ideally, probably 5 or 6 people would be a comfortable number. And of course, people that we ask, their schedule.
What would you be asking them to do?
I would say, hey, would you be willing to spend a day sitting in on an interview panel for general manager candidates, and then giving your feedback to the commission at the end of the day? Yeah.
1 day or 2 days? So you're going to have 2 different community panels?
No, it'd be one panel. We'd have the meet and greet the night before the interviews. Okay. So it'd be pretty much a full day commitment.
So would we vote on these people, or would we?
Never.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
because I started on this, because you called me when I was on my way up to Portland. So I have some on my computer, some names that I pulled out.
Okay.
You know, the
Yeah.
people that. And so why don't we go ahead and email those to you, and then you could kind of summarize them, and then we could vote on them on the January 23rd.
Well, we'd have to make sure they're willing to do it first.
Well, that's something that.
Yeah, and if we have when we figure out what the date will be for the interviews, I'll look at the schedules, and that'll also, somebody would be...
At least we get the list of names to Richard, and then he can connect with these people and see if they're willing to.
They're willing, and then, hey, once I get the date, I'll reach out to you and see if the date works with you.
Well, just so I understand this process. So the commission is going to conduct the interviews.
Correct.
What we're asking for is a collection of folks.
To be in another interview room.
They're going to interview with us. And
I think they're going to be interviewing the finalists, though.
Okay. The finalists, yes,
the
the finalists.
So not, the finalists.
But isn't...
That are here for the in-person interviews.
Yes, that's what I mean. So that all the people that are here for the in-person interviews are going to go to first interview with the commission, and then they're going to be interviewed again by this other group. And that group is going to develop their own questions, their own criteria, or what?
I can give them recommendations on questions and prepare similar like what we did here. But they wouldn't be scoring. They wouldn't be having a actual vote in the process of who's hired. They would meet with us at the end of the day in executive session and share with us their thought on how the candidates performed, and to give us input.
So you're going to be asking each one of these folks in this thing to, again, just so I understand, to come at the end of the day and say, here's what we thought of candidate X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Okay.
And so just to go a little further, what the city did, and this is a long process, there's no doubt about it. What the city did is that we were called in, And then the full council was there, and then there was like these little, they had presentations, they had little things that they went through, each candidate. And there was 3 candidates, that was, the 3 finalists. And we went through all of that and listened to them dismiss the candidates, and then we were able to talk freely. So we were able to tell the commission what we thought about candidate 1, 2, 3. And then that's it, we left, and then the city council made up their mind who they were going to hire.
Is there a reason why we have to have 2 separate sessions? And why they couldn't just be part of that initial interview?
Long
I mean,
day,
what
probably.
was the motivation? Well, it's still going to be a long day
Yeah,
for them, right?
Different opinion.
Yeah, different
Different
dynamics,
things.
more, instead of just 1 hour with the candidate, they'd have 2 hours with a variety of people. And, in 1 hour, we won't be able to ask every question we might come to our mind, and they might be able to, when I've done this before, interesting things have come up on each panel that were,
So just a question from the community panel. Would you want all of them to come speak, or would you like one representative to give a summary of what the...
It could be either.
As far as the presentations, could we do all of the presentations as a group and then go off into interviews? That might, we'd lose the nuances of the presentation.
Yeah. I was thinking the PowerPoint presentation would be just for the commission
Okay.
group. And the community members may actually have different questions they want, about, someone, let's say, from the fishing industry. Tell me about a time you negotiated with the fishermen's group, or an issue that you resolved.
Well, is somebody going to be facilitating this?
We would have to, decide that. I mean, I was thinking I would be in the panel room with the commission, and then maybe another person.
The person I was going to recommend is Katie Jacobson. She's OSU, and she's a facilitator also.
Oh, okay. A liaison or
Yeah, I mean, she loves facilitating, does it a lot.
if
I don't know.
So generally somebody over there, you don't just kind of let them go loose, but identify maybe someone who's the leader to, more just kind of keep an eye on the clock and stay on schedule.
Yeah, I mean, she's had extensive trainings.
Yeah.
So,
So I'll look for.
we'll get you the names.
Yeah, so shoot me some emails and then I
Everybody
can
needs to
some
send
names.
for the panel?
A number for the panel.
Oh, how many
you
people?
have?
People.
Oh, 4, 5, 6 is a comfortable number. You don't want to overwhelm them with a packed room audience. But if
Well,
you,
let's pick a number.
5 is a good number.
Okay, 5.
5 is a good number.
Okay, so the city.
I might need 10 names
there
to get
was
5
12
people.
of us in that panel.
Okay, we could do more.
I
I'd say
mean,
10 or less.
Yeah, 10 or less, definitely.
Just because, if you're talking city, county, different port users, you could say the fishermen, you could say the longshoremen.
we
That's
have
4
the
right
town.
there.
Port of
We got
Toledo.
we got Hatfield, might want to get someone from there. I mean, that's 5 right there, and that doesn't allow just general public. And we got people who come to our meetings for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe have them be part of it too. So
Yeah, someone wants to volunteer, spend a day with us, and
I
yeah, no more than 10. So at least you divide 60 minutes out by 10. Each person has like 6 minutes to ask a question.
10.
Up to 10?
10 or
What?
less.
10 or less.
Okay, so we'll pick up to 10.
Yeah.
And
And if we have existing people, if we want to get someone for our budget committee meeting,
Mm-hmm. Oh, those are good.
we've got our commercial fishermen's user group. We can get someone from them that's already vetted by us that we would have no problems on there.
well, I think it's important to have that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And I think that
why
should
not?
be
No, and I do. I mean,
a position.
Yeah, I mean,
Whoever.
well, they're saying you add it up quickly.
But I mean, those positions.
I want to make sure they live. We want to make sure they live in the Port District.
Oh,
Well, a lot of the people that, work here on a daily basis don't necessarily live,
Yeah. It's just a question.
Yeah,
I mean, someone who's involved with the port in some way, someone who cares about the port, who's interested
Yeah.
in the port for sure. You don't want to have somebody on that
I mean,
just...
we're not hiring them, but they definitely have to have, a participation in this. I mean, I think there's some people that, live outside. I don't know. Our port district moves pretty quickly, or moves out, I should say.
I wouldn't say it's a
District
huge,
of Ottawa.
that's not a deal breaker, but someone who's interested and involved.
But Bud would be excluded then, right? If it had been the port district.
Well, why don't we see what shakes out of this? But
Yeah.
I guess where I was going with this is I think that there actually are set positions that we should say that one of these 10 positions will be from the city.
Right.
One of these will be from the
County.
Fishermen's User Group.
Right.
One of them will be from the International User Group or the Terminal User
Yeah.
Group. So there's 3 positions that, what's that?
County?
From the county, I guess.
In the city.
So there's 4 that we know
In the city, yeah.
that,
the city.
and we don't care who they are, but they have to be from those positions, right?
Yeah.
Which leaves 6 other open positions, kind of where I'm going with
Yeah,
this.
I leave one for one of the lessees, whether it's Terry Opteshka, Jim Klein, someone from Rogue, from one of our lessees.
I mean, do we want to establish that as we must have?
Well, we've got a big list. We've got
As a
Noah
user.
Rogue
Well,
and
and pick one.
So that, again, I'm trying to get it to the point where we, like you say, you
Right.
could say
Or
to
would be
Rogue and
representing
say,
the south side, representing the north side.
Yeah.
so we want to say someone from Rogue?
Sure.
Rogue, yeah.
Does that seem good, Jeff?
It's just an idea. We don't have to ask them.
I don't know if we have to solidify what the positions are. It doesn't hurt to brainstorm, but once we see the names, it may kind of shake out, who you'd want to be part of the 10
Oh,
we
I
have to
see.
exclude.
Well, I was trying to think about the categories. If we're talking about a leaseholders, I guess,
Register in
or
OSU. That'll
Okay,
take care of
yeah,
that.
recreation, coast
RSU, I just see if Bob Callen wants to sit in on it.
'Cause our-
so you have city, county, business.
if we're saying OSU, if that's one, that's 5
I
positions.
say Hatfield.
Whoever from OSU or Hatfield.
Because Katie's OSU. And
Yeah, whoever they want to put. You could approach Bob and say, Bob, we need somebody to represent either yourself or pick somebody. But so now you got 5
Mm-hmm. I got city, fishing, international terminal, county, and
Fishermen's User Group.
Fishers.
Fishermen's User Group. It's an
Right, but
established
if you want to
committee.
have Fisherman's Wives president, that's a different
Oh,
thing, which is recommended by.
Well, that's,
Which we
that's
could
a-
certainly
that's-
do,
I would
but
say
it's-
that's public.
Yeah, it's one of the
Agenda.
other 5
What I-
positions, I
So I
guess.
wrote
Right.
down my stuff. So I put 1 city, 1 county, 1 education, 3 or 4 to the public, and 2 of the users or lessees. And the users I have down would be ILWU, a Commercial Fishermen's User Group member, and these are just names: Jim Klein and Terry Teshka. And those would be the lessees. And the public, I've got a list of about 15 people.
So what we could vote on is a slate to some extent,
Right. But we
send the
could-
names with these 5 positions.
Are we still going to give
Representing.
our names for whole load of
Yeah,
names?
yeah. And
Yeah, I
then
can
we'll vote on it
recruit
on our next
and
and
meeting.
see if they're willing and what date restrictions they might have.
Okay.
But I think the important thing is we've identified 5
And Walter's
slots.
list there.
that have to be filled with people from those backgrounds.
Specific.
Okay,
And
so
then
we're
there's
gonna
another
get the
5.
names to Richard, and then we're gonna have those names, and then we'll deal with that at the January 23rd meeting.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Do you want to have alternates in case some of the
Oh, I'm
original
sure there's
panel-
gonna be a list.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I've done this before, it's
Yeah.
it's a moving list because someone has something pop up. It's like, oh, okay, I can't be there, and then I'm
Can I ask
scrambling.
the names on the website too? I mean, we should probably.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see this posted on our website as a call for the public to, and we can put a contact of however you want to convey the names, but I'd like it to be on our website if at all possible, so anybody who's looking at the port can see it.
And if
So
there's
we're gonna
crossover to all
do
of our
the-
lists, then you can say, oh, look, he's on 4 people's list too.
So we can do
So
the,
the first posting would be, if you're interested, please contact, and the next posting would be who's actually on it.
but
That'd be
that
my
is
thought.
like, we already, is that for public people or for the city, county, or
Just the
list of
slate in general.
I would say that's more for the public.
Right.
Yeah, like
So we're going to fill the slates for the 5.
yeah, I
So,
think Richard can
Yeah.
take a shot at filling them, making sure he checks those criteria, and then he's going to have 5 that he'll put together that says this makes a good thing, and then maybe
Open to the public, we have 4 positions open or something.
my thought.
so we have our interviews for the commission, we have this panel,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then there's no more meet and greet, right? Or there is
Oh,
a meet and greet?
the meet and greet the night before, which would be all the
Okay, that's open to the public.
Open to the public,
Everybody
we
gets a
wanna-
chance to talk to the candidates. or whatever.
mingling. Yep.
Okay, So that's the night before. Night before.
Yeah. So somebody.
I don't think I need to get back in there. You can. You're leaving, is why you're asking, right? Yeah. I think that.
Okay. Good night.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Bye,
Yeah,
Tana.
so somebody volunteers and we just can't take all
Okay.
these names. We said, well, we're going to have a meet and greet, the evening
Oh, then they can
before.
do the meet and greet.
Yeah, invite everyone to come. In fact, the community panel members, please come to get a
Okay,
first heads
so
up.
I had asked this before, when we did this a long time ago for the city,
Mm-hmm.
they had the meet and greet at the Performing Arts Center, and they were given little cards to fill out of what you thought, about
Kind
the
of like
candidates,
feedback
or,
cards, sure.
yeah, whatever. Are we gonna do the same thing?
We definitely can, yeah.
Okay. I think that might be beneficial. It was anonymous, sometimes you could sign it if you wanted to, or it could be anonymous, but it gives them an opportunity, because I don't want to exclude anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll have each of the finalists give a little 3 to 5 minute introduction talk. Tell us why you want to be who you are.
Is that totally social then, though, if they do that? Has to be purely social gathering.
Yeah, I mean they're just giving a presentation, just in their elevator speech, their introduction speech, and I'll introduce them. Everyone, thank you for coming. Appreciate everyone. How are the snacks? I'd like to introduce our candidates in alphabetical order. First, we've got Adam Smith. Then we have Becky Johnson, and 3 minutes each. I'm from.
And if it's a problem with us being there and a meeting and all the rest of that stuff, I have no problem with us not being there. That's one less thing we could not do.
Yeah, just don't go in
Okay,
the
because
corner
we're going to be
mingle.
pretty busy with the interviews and pretty busy with the panel
And if you
stuff.
have the feedback cards, maybe.
Then
you
we've
don't
got
need
something to
be
go
there.
by.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with that. I don't know how everybody else feels, but it's one less thing to go to. But yet it gives the opportunity to the to the public to meet the candidates.
Yeah, and you'll see how the candidates kind of
There were
work
not
with
many
the crowd
violations or
and,
anything.
and who energizes the crowd, who puts them to sleep.
Who drinks them all?
Well, we'll have iced tea and lemonade. Yeah, that's true.
No,
But-
only milk. I'm serving chocolate milk. They're not
Oh, milk that could be. But yeah, just because part of the job is going to be public speaking with members of the public. So in a way, it's a little sample for the candidates of what the job's like. So if they're totally stage fright, probably not the good job for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we good on that?
About dates, are we still working on the doodle
He's
poll?
still working on the
Okay,
doodle poll. Have you
okay.
done it?
No. But it sounds like you're changing, Walter's
yeah.
changing, so the doodle poll seems like it's out.
It is. You might want to refresh it, and if you can, and send it
Yeah.
back to us.
That'll be important as far as who can
The
be on our
change,
panel.
just that. And you know
Irrelevant.
something? I really think we should just not even think about doing this during the Seafood and Wine Festival. I think you should just take that off the books,
That's
because you're
probably-
not going to find a place to put these people, and
So
it's
when I
just
put
going
the
to
poll
be
together, I'll just leave out those dates.
yeah, which is the last official weekend in February.
So hopefully maybe there's a day in the calendar before.
People start getting here like a couple days beforehand,
Okay.
so it's just I just don't see that really being.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, and Wednesday I think it opens. Yeah, they started even earlier, so it just becomes a real issue.
I'll be out of town.
Okay, all right.
Down that week.
So she'll send the doodle poll.
Sounds
We'll get
good.
going on that. Okay.
Okay.
We're good. All right.
Goodness.
So next is public comment. Does anybody have anything to say? Oh my gosh. Okay. Then any other business? We are adjourned.
Oh my goodness.